We are getting into another $100,000 NFL fantasy draft right now. $3 entry fee, $500,000 in prizes. Here's how it works. It's best ball. No time commitment at all. You hop into the draft, your lineups automatically get submitted every single week. It's 18 rounds. Deep lineups. You're about to get the best advice with the real-time, real money draft. First place gets $100,000. The prizes are distributed as follows. Here's how it works. We draft against 11 other guys. Top 2 teams in that first 14-week span advance to the playoffs. Then you go into 9 other guys. You got to advance as the top team 2 weeks in a row. And then a 310-person final. You win that, you win $100,000. Simple as that. We got to make it to the dance, and then we got to optimize for the final 3 weeks of the season. We're about to enter the Schnauzer 2 and get this draft rolling. We find ourselves in here at pick 6. Thank you, Lord. Why? There are 6 amazing players that we can take, a tier of 6 guys. Now, last draft, I don't know if you boys saw that, but Christian McCaffrey went at pick number 1 and Bijan went pick number 2. All is right in the world. I wasn't dreaming because Jamar Chase is back where he belongs at pick numero 1. Now, pick 6, we're going to be taking the best out of the 6 guys that are going to be left to us. Usually pick 6, you get Jahmyr Gibbs. Sometimes you get an interesting start. Bijan might fall to you. I mean, I think I've seen Saquon fall to 6 one time, but it's usually never going to happen. CeeDee Lamb goes at pick number 2. That usually doesn't happen either. Usually you see Saquon or Jefferson or Bijan go pick 2, and CD goes number 5. Genty goes pick number 3. Somebody pinch me. We're going to either Jefferson or Bijan. We get Bijan Robinson here at pick number 6. This is what dreams are made of. Now, going running back in the first round, we're already heavily invested in the running back position. That means we're going to be wanting to slam wide receivers in the next couple of rounds. Taking a look at the ADP, right, how the draft falls. I love the running back values here late in the draft on Best Ball. Caleb Johnson, DeAndre Swift, Judkins, James Conner, Kamara. Their ADPs are all 58, 75 in a tier of dusty wide receivers. So if we went elite tight end or elite quarterback here at our second and third pick, I wouldn't be confident in our ability to catch up at wide receiver. Especially if we go running back here, we would be in a tough spot. So I'm hoping we're going to get a solid receiver option here at our second pick. We are going to be at pick number 19, which is also a good spot to be. Looking at number 19th overall, it's not ideal actually. So there is a second tier of guys that I think can be league winners. It ends here at Brock Bowers at number 18. You got Derrick Henry, Drake London, A.J. Brown, Devon H. and Brock Bowers. And I draw the line at Ladd McConkey. I think Ladd McConkey is kind of identical to some of these other guys, maybe a bit safer. But he was getting drafted in round 6 last year. I'm not convinced they bring in Trey Harris. So really the only guy I want is A.J. Brown. And I'd say there's a 0% chance that A.J. Brown falls to us here. Ladd McConkey goes, ladies and gentlemen, strap in. I know everything I just said about elite running back, double running back, elite tight end. A.J. Brown goes, we're taking Devon Achane or Brock Bowers. I'm not going Rashee Rice. He was already going at ADP of 40 in this tournament, so if Rashee Rice is going to smash, then that tournament winner's already been drafted. T. Higgins is the number 2 receiver on his team. Can't take him. The next round, I would compare all of these receivers in the same tier as the receivers going right now. Like, I'm fine taking DK Metcalf, Ted McMillan over, Garrett Wilson or T. Higgins. I'm fine doing it. So I am going to go elite tight end. When we go elite tight end, we are not taking another tight end until the end of this draft, and we're definitely going with a 2 tight end build. The tight end values in best ball this year are also insane. You got Tyler Warren, Colston Love went around ADP of 125 each, when the receivers getting drafted around that time are Josh Palmer. So those are insane glaring values. Tucker Kraft is another great value. Kyle Pitts is another good value. The upside might be capped with him, though. So we do go the 2 positions back-to-back that I believe we should have pushed back to the end of the draft. We are going to smash wide receiver. I almost said quarterback because I'm looking at Josh Allen staring me in my soul. But we can't take him here in 7 picks. On the clock here at pick number 3, all of the receivers are dusty, and I predicted it. Josh Allen is staring me in my soul. Now, the smarter pick is take McLaurin and then probably go Jaden Daniels in the next round if he falls. That's not really exciting, but it's the smart thing to do, and I also don't think we can afford Jaden Daniels, even though we just took Honestly, this is the one time where you want to get sniped. We're 12 picks away. Jaden Daniels isn't projected to fall to us. He probably could. Now, there is an elite tier of quarterbacks. He is one of them. You do see Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts paired up after Jaden Daniels does go. So I do think that Terry McLaurin he has to be our first receiver. We have to pass on Josh Allen. The next tier of wide receivers after McLaurin, I think they're comparable. DK Metcalf, Jamison Williams, Travis Hunter, Ted McMillan, Mike Evans. So I think any of those guys are comparable. 9 picks away, it's going to be hard to pass on Jaden Daniels if he's there, but it's probably best for this team when we're sitting there with elite running back, elite tight end, and no receiver depth. Again, we start 3 wide receivers every week, 2 running backs every week, and 1 flex. So we're lacking on wide receiver. We are 1 pick away from being on the clock. We have James Cook and Amarion Hampton going back-to-back. I like seeing the running backs go off the board here because there's a tier of receivers that I do actually like. Travis Hunter gets reached on a little bit past ADP, which means we now have Ted McMillan, Jamison Williams, and DK Metcalf. I wish I had 6 picks in this round, man, because all of the receivers here, this is like the well. You go to the well for water, you want to take a drink. I love all 3 of these guys at this current value. I think all of them have the upside to be league winners. We go Ted McMillan to pair with Terry McLaurin. It's tough because we don't have that alpha receiver in McLaurin, in my opinion. It is going to be a little bit volatile. Taking Metcalf would be a bit more guaranteed, safer points. Jamison Williams would have been a bit more boom bust as well. Ted McMillan, we're chasing the highest upside possible. We don't want to play it safe in this tournament. Now, we are going to be 8 picks away, and we're hoping to get another receiving option. There are a couple good running backs that would be fine to have as well. I would love to take I will take an unstacked Jalen Hurts any day as well. I don't think we can afford it. I hope he goes. The running backs in this range are way better than the receivers. I'd rather have Chuba, I'd rather have Kamara than guys like Zay Flowers and Jalen Waddle. But we can't afford that. And there are some receiving options I like as well. In fact, there's only one of them that's going to be left potentially. Calvin Ridley at 80-50. I'll scream it. I'll scream it from the rooftops. I say it every single draft. Calvin Ridley at pick 56. You can't ask me to pass on Calvin Ridley, man. I know Zay Flowers has a chance of making it to us. Calvin Ridley quietly reached 1,000 receiving yards in Titans Day, blah, blah, blah. He always is at 1,000 receiving yards if he has. If he has what? A quarterback? He doesn't. He's had terrible quarterback play his entire career, and yet he's always been elite. If Jalen Hurts falls to us here, we do have a bit of a dilemma. We do have a bit of a dilemma here where do we take an unstacked Jalen Hurts? Now, the 2 teams prior to us both have no quarterbacks. I don't expect Jalen Hurts to make it to us. Zay Flowers goes, dude, someone save me. Save me from myself. Jalen Hurts gets sniped from us. Praise God. We just took Jalen Waddle in the last draft on the video. Calvin Ridley, we were just hyping him up. Calvin Ridley makes my team a bit more exciting in my opinion. He might not have the same level of excitement around him as DK Metcalf with Aaron Rodgers, but I don't see why not. DK Metcalf is a 1,000-yard receiver consistently as well. Kind of just a mediocre guy. I think Calvin Ridley with Cam Ward could be a lethal combination. He's a bright spot in a Titans offense. The reports out of OTAs is Calvin Ridley is more motivated, more bought in this season. Who wouldn't be when you don't have Mason Rudolph and who's the other bum? Will Levis chucking you the football. So now at wide receiver, we're playing catch up now. We have Bijan at running back. We have Bowers at tight end. Wide receiver, we got McLaurin, Ted McMillan, Calvin Ridley. There's still some upside there, but we still might have to take a wide receiver the next 2 rounds straight, which is going to be hard considering this is where the wishing well dries up. Look at the tier of receivers here. I really want to take a wide receiver. Rome Odunze, the worst rookie season I've ever seen in my life. Yes, the hit rate is pretty high for guys in his situation. He's trash. Jordan Addison, I like the guy, but he's going to be suspended for 3 games. Not good. Jawan Jennings, a boom or bust, and he's not a boom in my eyes. We get sniped on Trevor Henderson. I have no idea what to do. Montgomery I don't really want Montgomery at all as our second running back. We already have tight end. Jacoby Myers is trash. Judkins is probably the next guy on my board right here, but he's going to be splitting time. I basically have no Caleb Johnson. I have not much Caleb Johnson. I'm a big fan of DeAndre Swift. Usually, I would be fine reaching on DeAndre Swift here. Ben Johnson's going to be his new OC. The Bears have a new look offense. He was at 1,000 yards. Not really any competition besides that Monaga guy who's not really going to be any competition in my eyes for DeAndre Swift. Roshan Johnson's no competition either. I think Swift could have a big year, but with Caleb Johnson there, and with Najee Harris, who was a true rushing workhorse running back, a lot of freed up volume for Caleb Johnson, and we're going to go ahead and reach on him. So now we have Bijan paired up with Caleb Johnson, and this next group of wide receivers here, 7 picks away, look at this. I would rather have Josh Downs. Josh Downs is a diamond in the rough. I'd rather have Josh Downs than any of the receivers going ahead of him. Stephon Diggs, Shakir, Jaden Reed, Matthew Golden, Ricky Pearsall. No, I will take Josh Downs over those guys, which I know, crazy thing to be saying. But think about it. Josh Downs was improved in every single stat last season. Josh Downs is the wide receiver 1 potentially ahead of Michael Pittman, who's already banged up at camp. He was banged up last season. We're going to have Daniel Jones, which could be improved quarterback passing. Regardless, Josh Downs killed it last year, and he only looks poised to improve upon that last performance. Looking at our potential stacking options, we have Bryce Young, Cam Ward, a bunch of late-round quarterbacks. Why not throw in another one with Anthony Richardson or Danny Dimes? So that's kind of what I'm thinking here. It is going to be hard to pass on DeAndre Swift, the guy we were hyping up. We could have an elite running back room. But if we go running back right here, we're not taking running back again for probably 6 or 7 more rounds, and we're just hammering wide receivers. So if DeAndre Swift falls to us, I will end up having to take him. I don't want to reach on Caleb Johnson and then reach again on Josh Downs, even though I think Josh Downs is probably the best pick for this team. I know people in the chat are screaming Ricky Pearsall. I'm not a big believer. I'm not a big believer in Ricky Pearsall. I don't know why. George Kittle's there. Ayuk is probably going to be out for 4 games, so Ricky Pearsall could be very, very good. And Ricky Pearsall could be the right pick. But DeAndre Swift, gotta trust the instinct. The running back room now is probably going to be done. Bijan Robinson, Caleb Johnson, DeAndre Swift. We're going to take 2 dusty running backs. Actually, we're not. So when you have Bijan and DeAndre Swift, these guys project to put points in your lineup every week. You don't really want to be taking dusty guys like Kareem Hunt, like Jerome Ford in the final 2 rounds. You want to take some more high upside guys. Devin Neal, Jarquez Hunter. We want to take guys like that, Dylan Sampson, in the final couple of rounds of this draft. So those will be our last 2 picks, and this running back room we should be able to only get away with 5 running backs. We're going to hammer wide receiver, and we're going to hammer quarterback in the upcoming rounds. Kyler Murray unstacked, or a potential Michael Wilson stack, is sounding pretty good right now. We need Jaden Reed right here to fall, and Jaden Reed, thank God, Jaden Reed falls 13 spots past ADP. I never thought I'd be this happy for a washed-up wide receiver. I know he's not washed. I actually think Jaden Reed is good. He's got good talent. Just the competition in that Packers receiving room is good, especially if you count in Tucker Kraft. We will go ahead and take Jaden Reed. That is a great falling wide receiver value for this team. It's what we needed. Now at receiver, we have McLaurin, T-Mac, Calvin Ridley, and Jaden Reed. And we're looking to get a receiver here on the way back around, or a quarterback option. Because if Kyler Murray comes to us, which I doubt he does, the Marvin Harrison team usually is going to take him. But Justin Fields unstacked, that rushing upside is probably what we're going to want here on the way back around, even with good wide receiver options that are going to be available, like Trey Harris, like Keon Coleman, who I actually don't like, or Jaden Higgins as the wide receiver 2 in Houston. We're sitting here with no quarterbacks. Keon Coleman doesn't interest me that much. Trey Harris, Mike Williams is looking like he's going to be potentially getting involved. The Big Q had 8 touchdowns last year. Shaheed's not exciting. Rashad Bateman's not too exciting to me either. We can't afford to go running back. We're going to go ahead and take Bo Nix unstacked. Now, I'm not a big fan of Marvin Mims Jr. I'm not a big fan of Evan Ingram. And we already have the dominant tight end of Bowers, so we can't even afford him. Which means Michael Thomas 2.0, Pat Bryant is going to be somebody we got to have in our mind. Wow, so ADP of 107 is Trey Harris. We are at pick 115. Trey Harris has a positive blurb, building early momentum, blah, blah, blah. He's standing out in contested catch drills with Justin Herbert. He's praising how accurate Justin Herbert is, blah, 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 blah. Trey Harris. I'm not too excited about the fact that he's there with McConkey as the alpha. He's going to have Mike Williams, who's an aging veteran, but apparently it's going to be involved because of his history with LA. Then you have the Big Q. So with Trey Harris, I think it is a competitive wide receiver room similar to Green Bay, but between Reed, between Harris, hopefully one of these guys is going to be able to step up and give us some points in the early season with Ted McMillan. Now, looking at our potential for later in this draft, Trey Harris allows us for one important thing. In 7 picks, Justin Herbert could be a potential target of ours. Now, I don't love the fact that we know Justin Herbert is not going to have any rushing upside whatsoever. He did have a quiet 300 rushing yards, I guess, in 2024. He did, looking at the 2 seasons prior, he did have a pretty good year in terms of 2024 from what I'm looking at. Better than 2023, worse than 2022 and 2021. I don't know, man. I don't know. He's going to have a very good supporting cast right here in 2025. We just mentioned his deep receiver room. Tight end, the tight ends are trash, but they do have the big Orambe Gatson, a big sleeper option. So Herbert's not even going to make it to us, so who cares? Who cares? Herbert, you're dead to me. Jordan Love, you're the new boy. Jordan Love is the new GOAT. Now, Jordan Love has some, even less rushing outside from what I'm seeing, and he was unhealthy. But with Matthew Golden, with Jaden Reed, he now has deep play potential. J.J. McCarthy goes, Rashad Bateman goes. Chat is screaming at me to probably take Marvin Mims, stack him with Bo Nix. To take Luther Burden, 5-star prospect. But, unfortunately, we're going Jordan Love. I think we have to do this. We got to get the Jordan Love, Jaden Reed stack. Again, we're targeting Pat Bryant on the way back around. Not next round, probably not even around after that. But I do like Pat Bryant. Pat Bryant doesn't even have a great prospect profile. But the Pat Bryant-Michael Thomas comparison alone from Michael Thomas' former coach of Sean Payton is enough to tell me, all right, he's better than Marvin Mims. I don't know why Luther Burden is dropping 20 spots past ADP here. Christian Kirk is getting picked over Luther Burden, who is on track for training camp, blah, blah, blah. Burden will make up for lost time and secure the number 3 receiving role behind DJ Moore and Romudunze, which is really going to be the number 4 receiving role if Colston Loveland is as involved as we think he's going to be. But I still like Luther Burden as a prospect profile, especially when the guys he's going around are kind of bums. Now, we do have the Big Q as a potential wide receiver option in the next round. We do have Jack Besh, but when we're sitting here with Trey Harris already as a rookie on our team, I think I would rather have somebody a little bit more established. Now, looking at somebody that's more established, we're going to have to scroll down to Adam Thielen at ADP 166. So we're still chasing wide receivers here. I don't think we can afford to take another running back, even though the running backs are probably decent value at this time. We are 4 picks away. Luther Burden, we are at pick 135. Luther Burden is still not off the board. Isaac Garendo goes over him. Trevor Lawrence goes over him. We got a run on tight end here. I love the tight end values I'm seeing. We got Isaiah Likely, Colston Loveland, Dalton Kincaid off the board. We are 2 picks away. And if Luther Burden falls 2 more picks, so it's at 139, you might as well just write me a check, Underdog, and just send me the money my way. CJ Stroud off the board. 1 pick away. This guy already has 5 receivers, but so do we. I think he's going to go. I'm scared, bro. Come on. Wavy Crockett goes Trey Benson. We just got Luther Burden 27 spots past his ADP. That is what this team needed. A little bit of an injection of hope into this wide receiver core, which now has 3 rookies. But Ted McMillan is going to be an alpha wide receiver off the bat. Luther Burden has an amazing prospect profile. Trey Harris had a great final college year. Prospect profile is a little intriguing, I'll say. The separation might not be there, but Trey Harris does have upside. And then we have Calvin Ridley, Terry McLaurin, who I think can provide us points, and then Jaden Reed. I think our wide receiver room might be a little bit volatile. I don't really see anybody that's going to have points consistently every week for sure, unless Ted McMillan can be that guy in his rookie season. So we go Xavier Legette. My only reasoning is I'm hoping that we're going to be able to get Pat Bryant on the way back around. If we go Xavier Legette and we go Ted McMillan, in the next round, we know we're going to be going for Pat Bryant. If Pat Bryant's not there, we could go Cam Ward, and then we'll just have an unstacked Big Country and an unstacked Ted McMillan. I don't like Bryce Young. I don't think Bryce Young is any good. I'm assuming Bryce Young is still on the board. And hopefully, I thought, okay, yep. I messed up, boys. I didn't realize that Bryce Young was so overvalued. Bryce Young at an ADP of 156, you must be out of your damn mind. I would rather have Cam Ward over him any single day. But I kind of just pigeonholed us where we're probably going to have to take a falling value of Bryce Young. If he falls to us, I don't really know what I'm doing here, man. Do I go Pat Bryant for the Bo Nix stack, or do I go QB3 of Bryce Young? With Bo Nix, with Jordan Love, I don't think we have to chase. We don't really have to chase anything. We can let the board come to us. We could even sit back and just keep just a Bo Nix stack. But if we are trying to optimize for the final week where it's a 310-team pool, we might have to go with the stack option with the Panthers and say, what if this Panthers offense just explodes? Now, you must not have heard what I just said. What if this Panthers offense explodes? First off, Pat Bryant goes off the board. When Pat Bryant goes off the board, then we change the strategy completely. Looking at the Broncos, there's one Bronco that comes to mind. He's late in the draft, probably undrafted. ADP of 215 is Devon Vele. Look at the wide receivers. We got Sutton, Mims, Bryant. If I'm out on Marvin Mims Jr., that means Vele, who had a 475-yard, basically rookie season, he might be able to be a bit involved as well. We'll probably go Vele in our final pick of the draft. Bryce Young falls to us here. Cedric Tillman is here, 12 spots past ADP. I think Tillman is the correct pick for this team, but when we're sitting here with 7 wide receivers already, and I just mentioned getting a Bo Nix stack with Vele, I think we have no choice but to go QB3. Bryce Young, he falls 7 spots past ADP, and I'm liking the stacks we have on this team. We could even keep. In fact, I think we will. I think we're going to keep Bo Nix unstacked, because who the hell is Devon Vele? Jordan Love is stacked with Jaden Reed. Bryce Young is double stacked with McMillan and Leggett. That's going to be all the upside we have in the final weeks of the season. Looking at running back. Bijan, Caleb Johnson, DeAndre Swift. We still need 2 more running backs. Looking at wide receiver. We're 1 wide receiver away from being done. We have McLaurin, T-Mac, Big Country Leggett, Calvin Ridley, Jaden Reed, Trey Harris, Luther Burden. I really like this team. I really like the values we've been getting at all of our picks at wide receiver in the final couple of rounds. Trey Harris, 8 spots past ADP. Luther Burden, 26 spots past ADP. Jaden Reed, 13 past ADP. Ted McMillan, 4 spots past ADP. You won't be able to replicate this team, man. You will not be able to replicate this team even if you tried. All right, we're sitting here 2 spots away. The teams ahead of us have 5 running backs and 4 running backs each. They go Scam Darnold. We'll see where this guy goes. Only 5 wide receivers. He goes running back again. We're about to get something pretty nice here. So I'm glad we took Bryce Young because we're going to go with our 4th running back, Mr. 1,000-yard man himself. 1,000-yard rushing season last year. And Rico Dowdle takes his talents, his services, to Carolina on a 1-year, $2.7 million contract. Now that is a backup running back money. Chuba Hubbard is ahead of him. Chuba Hubbard potentially has health issues, right? So Chuba Hubbard, not necessarily somebody we're relying on to be healthy for all 17 games. Rico Dowdle has shown in Dallas that he can be a serviceable running back. Maybe there's some correlation there. We basically have the entire Carolina Panthers offense. What if this Panthers offense is insane? Is what we're relying on for this team right here. But not even necessarily, because beyond the Panthers players, I think our team still can make it to the dance and also put up a fight. Alec Pierce here is a no-brainer pick. Let me tell you why. He had 7 touchdowns, 824 yards in 2024. Why is nobody talking about that? I'm going to have to make my own video on this guy, but look at the upside our wide receiver room has. I know there's going to be some volatility. There might be some spike weeks. Take a look, boys. We got Luther Burden, Trey Harris, and Ted McMillan as our 3 rookies. We got Terry McLaurin, Calvin Ridley, Jaden Reed as the vet presences. And then we have Xavier Leggett stacked with Bryce Young and Alec Pierce as kind of the dart throws. Running back, we have Bijan, DeAndre Swift as the GOATs. We got Caleb Johnson for some upside, and then we have Rico Dowdle paired with Bryce Young. QB, we have unstacked Bo Nix. We have Jordan Love. We have Bryce Young. Tight end, we have Brock Bowers. This team has come together in a way that I like. You guys have seen. This is our 4th draft on the channel. Go check out the other ones if you haven't already. But you guys have seen that I'm pretty honest. If it's a mid-draft, I say it's a mid-draft. If it's a bad draft, I say it's a bad draft. So far, so good. And you know what? We already have Big Country. We already have T-Mac. We already have Dowdle. I might do something wild and take a year 2 Jatavion Sanders. I might do it. I might take Jatavion Sanders here and get another stack option for Bryce Young and say, listen, man, Bryce Young, I need you to have the craziest week 15 to 18, week 15 to 17 of your entire life, my guy. So that is going to be the next option we're going to be queuing up. We'll see if it falls to him. Jatavion Sanders comes home, and he's going to be our tight end 2 behind Brock Bowers. Now, we could go hyper-fragile running back. What's that mean? It means you go 4 running backs, right? So you go Bijan Robinson, Caleb Johnson, DeAndre Swift, Rico Dowdle. You need 2 of them to start every single week. I just realized, ladies and gentlemen, oh boy. You don't really like looking at bye weeks. What do we have? Bijan Robinson, bye week, week 5. Caleb Johnson, bye week, week 5. DeAndre Swift, week 5. Rico Dowdle will be in our lineup in week 5. We can't go hype over as a running back because we don't have a second guy in our lineup that week. So whoever we take right here, they're going to count as our running back in week 5. That is a big problem. I was debating, I was saying, listen, what if Brock Bowers takes a step back, misses a game? Do we really trust Jatavion Sanders? Jatavion Sanders is really just here for a stack option, right? And for depth. But we can't play scared. We took Bowers for a reason. If Bowers is the reason this team loses, so be it. The reason I'm saying, the reason I was a little bit scared about Bowers is this team feels really, really good in all spots. We feel balanced at quarterback with 3 of them and 3 solid options. We feel good at wide receiver with falling ADPs, elite tight end, and then running back, we have very good names right there. All 4 of them I like. But the 5th option, sliding into our lineup, caps our upside, right? Like, I want to target somebody like Jarquez Hunter. I want to target somebody that's higher upside, maybe like Taj Brooks, Devin Neal. I'd rather take Devin Neal right here, but I don't think I can. Like, I might have to go Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, I think he just went. Did he go? No, he's not. Like, do you take Kareem Hunt, someone that can score more points in that week 5 game? Or do you chase somebody that can be a dominant league winner as a dominant handcuff back? I'll tell you right now, my primary choice is going to be Jarquez Hunter. If Jarquez Hunter falls to us right here, he's coming home. This team has 6 running backs, and I expect our final selection to be none other than Jarquez Hunter. This team is about to be good. Now, the one pick that I think I might have made a mistake on is probably Jatavion Sanders. I think instead of Jatavion Sanders, we probably could have went somebody better at running back, maybe. And then maybe we could have went somebody like Terrence Ferguson here, which wouldn't have even made it to us, baby, so I have no regrets because Terrence Ferguson gets sniped from us anyway if we were going to take him, and Jarquez Hunter comes home. The team is finished. At quarterback, we have unstacked Bo Nix, Jordan Love with Jaden Reed, Bryce Young, triple stacked, quadruple stacked, Bryce Young, Rico Dowdle, Xavier Legette, Ted McMillan, and Jatavion Sanders. You might be saying, aren't you scared about that? No, because the team that won Ball Mania, they had the entire Bengals offense. RB, Bijan Robinson, Caleb Johnson, DeAndre Swift, Rico Dowdle, Jarquez Hunter, high upside right there, and Bijan as the anchor RB. Wide receiver, Terry McLaurin, Ted McMillan, Calvin Ridley, Jaden Reed, Trey Harris, Luther Burden, Xavier Legette, Alec Pierce, tight end, Jatavion Sanders, and the GOAT, Brock Bowers. This team is potential to win all $100,000 from this draft. Mark my words, I'll see you boys in February when I'm taking us all on my yacht. Peace!